Hey, 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 it is showtime. Thank you very much for coming to my live stream. It is nice. I can't see you, but it's nice to know that you are here. We're going to do just a general sort of cruise Q&A today. So if you have any questions about cruises, destinations, ships, anything like that, I'm going to do my best to answer as many as I can. If you can start your question with question in capital letters, that just really helps me to pick out what is a question. Just like this one, it says comment in capital letters, and that instantly drew my eye to it. And this is such a good comment. So, this is just backing up what I said about Cunard having the best donuts. Absolutely, they do. Absolutely, they do. They're fantastic. I've never found such good donuts. They're amazing. But yes, hello to everybody. Hello to the moderators who are in here. The camera's kind of facing down today. It's a bit weird, but I wanted you to see Hudson. I think that's very important. He's pulled up a chair next to me. There we go. Hi, Hudson. We'll give you some dreamies in a minute, all right? Good boy. It's raining at the moment. It's pretty cold in England. It's supposed to be July, but it doesn't feel like July at all. Yes. Happy 4th of July to those of you who celebrate 4th of July. We don't celebrate it in the UK, but we had a general election. So we had our own excitement for the day. Jamie says, what are their donuts like? Are they ring or filled? They have every type of donut. They have the filled ones. They have all kinds of sugar. Oh my goodness. It was amazing. Amazing. Where is Hudson's hat? It's kind of hard to get real cats to wear costumes. I don't know if you've ever tried. Didn't notice the special guest. Hi, Hudson. Yeah, I even moved this up here, so hopefully you can. He goes behind the comments if the comments are long, but hopefully you can see him. There's some weird comments in here already, so thank you very much to the moderators for looking after the chat. Appreciate it. Tony says, how excited are you for your transatlantic? I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous, I have to admit, because normally I don't take cruises that have more than 1 or 2 sea days. I do get seasick in rough weather, but I have wanted to do a transatlantic for a very long time. So there's 7 sea days on that cruise I'm taking. It's not for a very long time, so I'll let you know more about it when I can, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'll probably just bring my laptop and work, and that'll be my office, but that's a good office to have, I think. I saw a question, an interesting question. Here it is from Max. He says, do you have any update on the Captain Hudson books? Have you got a release date yet? Can't wait for them. So we're very nearly there. I had the proof copies today arrive of books 1 and 2. We need to do a bit more on book 3. Book 3 is the guide to cruising for kids, so it's a bit bigger. There's places where they can draw, that kind of thing. So we're just working out stuff like that, but everything's proofread, all the illustrations are done. It's very much just, all that's slightly off center. We'll fix that. We'll do a new round. So we are self-publishing these. They're going to be available through Amazon. So hopefully you'll know that they're they're full of love. If you do find something, a typo or something, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. There's so many nice, just nice comments in here. I really appreciate it. I try and come back after the live to sort of leave. I can't reply to the live stream comments, but I do try and see them as much as I can. So I appreciate it. Keep them coming. Did Hudson find you, or did you find Hudson? I found Hudson on a poster in Sainsbury's. I was on my lunch break, and I went there to get some food, probably. I don't remember what I was buying. And there was a poster with Hudson on it, and it said Home Wanted. And I was like, cat wanted. So I adopted Hudson. He's very good. He's a very good boy. He's a brilliant cat. Let me know if you want me to give him some dreamies for being good, and I'll give him some dreamies. What is your favorite Norwegian ship? I've been on Sky, Epic, Prima, and Jade. Interesting. So it depends what kind of cruise I'm doing. I've been on Sky, I've been on Jade, I've been on Epic, and I've been on Prima. So I've been on all of those. I think my favorite is probably in the middle. It's probably breakaway, getaway, that kind of class. I have done some really cheap cruises on my older ones like Sky, and like fantastic, but very different from the new big ships. So I think I'll go sort of in the middle. I've done the go-karts now. I did the go-karts on Prima, but I don't need that on every cruise I go on. That's, it's fun, but not something I would still book the cruise if it didn't have that. What I miss most from Prima is an indulge food hall. Jamie says, comment for future Emma to read this after. Thanks for another great live stream. I haven't finished the live stream yet. You're just assuming that the rest of it's gonna be great. Maybe not. Like your setup. Now we can see the world map too. Oh, I think we're gonna have to give Hudson some dreamies. Hudson, dreamies. There we go. He's back. I'll try and do some high fives with him because I did train him to do high fives. Just let me put this out the way, and I'll keep answering questions. So, what software do you use to display the questions during your live? It's called StreamYard. I've used it for, I don't know, 5 years now, maybe. It's the only one I've ever used, and I like it. It's not the most good boy, Hudson. Well done. It's not the most complicated one. You know, there's ones that do way more, but for me, this is all I want to do. Put questions on the screen, and I can put banners up. You know, I can put that up there. Such a clever cat. Look at his high fives. So good. Have you ever been on a cruise that was rerouted due to a hurricane or similar in the Caribbean? Never in the Caribbean. I've had cruises that are rerouted due to weather. I've had cruises that were changed due to weather. My last cruise, the first port was changed due to weather before we even got on the ship. It was like the day before they changed port. So I've had quite a lot like that. I've had ports changed due to like political circumstances, due to them overselling the port, all kinds of things. Oh, Hudson's decided he will stay. Now he knows the dream is around. He knows that it's worth staying. Any tips for Anthem of the Seas boarding in 2 weeks today? Anthem of the Seas was brilliant. So I've been on this ship twice. I have written quite a lot about it on my website already, so check that out. I just finished the full video, not edited yet, but just finished recording it. And my cabin video, I think, is going to come out maybe on Monday. I might have it ready for Patreon sooner, maybe today. But anyway, I think keeping an eye on the app for free things would be my tip on Anthem, because there's certain things you can do, like skydiving, like going in the North Star, that are paid for, unless you are checking in the app at the right time and seeing a free slot and booking a free slot. And it's more fun when it's free. Like it's a lesser experience. You know, if you do the free North Star, it just goes up and down. It's like an observation pod. And the longer one goes off the side a little bit, but I would prefer the free one. So yeah, keep an eye on that. I really like Anthem of the Seas. I think it's one of my favorite ships. I was on that cruise with kids as well, so it was a different kind of cruise for me, but it worked really well for them. The buffet is fantastic, the soda package is great, $270, really nice lounge. So yeah, no complaints. I still don't have Icon of the Seas booked, no. At some point, no. How to see? Oh, We Will Rock You easily. It doesn't have a reservation system, so we showed up half an hour before. I think that was about perfect. We wanted decent seats to see that, but we didn't care about the front row. And half an hour before was perfect. The first time I went on Anthem of the Seas, there was reservations, and the line was all the way through that central street. It was really long. It was better without reservations, I will say. Did you go cruise ship spotting? I didn't see any other cruise ships on my last cruise, my cruise in Norway. We were never docked with any other big ship, which I love. I love cruise ship spotting, but also it's really nice to be the only ship in a place. So yeah, that was different. There were a few with us when we were in Alaska. It was very early in the season. Love the profile picture, by the way. Let me know. I don't know if the comments are on the other side for you, but anyway, I love the profile picture. Will they play We Will Rock You during ocean turbulence? Ocean turbulence. I love that. That's cool. I mean, they'll be the ones that call that, right? They know how much they can dance and sing and what they need to be able to perform. Theatre shows are often, you know, if there's bad weather, that's the first thing that'll be cancelled for obvious reasons. But yeah. The best thing about Icon is the elevators. Yeah, I try not to use the elevators on a cruise. I didn't use them once on Anthem of the Seas. Yeah, I'm quite used to the stairs now. The comments are on your right. My right, this is my right for me in real life. But I'm not sure what it is for you. Not cruise related, but I see you normally wear press-on nails. What brand do you wear? Mine keep falling out. I don't have any on at the moment, but I don't think it's to do with the brand. You know, quite often mine are from Primark. £1.50, £2 maybe, and they normally stay on for a week. At that point, I normally change them. About 7 days, I'll probably change them. But I think it's more about how you put them on, how you do the prep. It is quite a long process, but it's good. Much prefer, when I say a long process, I mean it takes me about half an hour, but I'd much prefer that than going to a salon. That's for sure. The comments are on your other rights. This right, which is the left for me. What is the longest cruise you've been on? Just 2 weeks. 2-week cruises. I've done a couple of 2-week cruises. Never anything longer than that. Can you give your thoughts on a 2-week MSc Virtuoso week? Will it be full of kids and overly busy? It depends if it's the school holidays or not. There's a massive, massive difference between a cruise being, it'll be sold out. I'm pretty sure Virtuoso is always sold out. There's a very big difference between it being sold out or it being fully at capacity and sold out, because sold out means someone is in every single cabin, right? Someone, 1 person, 2 person, 3, 4, but someone. Full capacity means pretty much every extra bed, every 3rd and 4th bed is full. And in school holidays, it is going to be busy. On MSc cruises like Virtuoso, yes. I would still do it, of course. I would always pick outside of school holidays because I don't have to cruise in school holidays. But yeah, I've only done Virtuoso sort of just after the pandemic when it was 24% full. So I don't really think I can talk about it being full. But yeah, some ships just deal with people better than others. Some spread people out quite well. Some don't. Can you recommend an itinerary originating in Barcelona? So I have cruised from Barcelona more than any other, And there is what I call the sort of classic Mediterranean loop from Barcelona that goes to Malta. Malta, I really like Malta. If I see Malta on an itinerary, I'm like, yes. And normally it goes to Marseille. You might do Civitavecchia, Genoa, that kind of circle. It's very, very popular. And I like that. You can do a 7-day cruise from Barcelona, normally 1 or 2 sea days, and you get on and you get off in the same place, and you can visit 5 different countries. So super, super easy. I got a paper cut on my finger. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's right there. And it's the worst. It's the worst place to have a paper cut. It is so annoying. So annoying. Cruise boys are in here madly packing for a Viking cruise on Sunday. I am so excited for you to do this Viking cruise because it feels like so many years ago you booked this. I don't know how long it's been, but it feels like a really long time. Yeah, my mum says, liked Virtuosa, saw that £700 deal, but can't fit it in. There's so much cat fluff floating around this room, so apologies if I sneeze. Are you team leave your passport in the safe or team bring your passport to visit ports? It depends on what the cruise line says. You know, if it says in the daily schedule that you need ID, normally a passport, sometimes I'll bring it. Depends where I am. You know, if I'm somewhere, I don't know, some cruises they keep your passport. So if I'm in Japan, for example, I don't have my passport. I can't take my passport, so I don't take it. If I'm somewhere, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I just take my driving license. If I can just take my driving license, it's much easier. It's much smaller, and I'm less worried about losing my driving license. It's much easier to replace rather than a passport. But sometimes. Jeff says, did you see Travel Bean's latest video on Costa? It was their first cruise and they were miserable. You should reach out to them. I haven't seen that video. I think it was titled something like I took the world's worst cruise. So, like, I don't know. I have cruised the Costa multiple times. I enjoy Costa cruises. It's not for everybody. Obviously, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, haven't seen it. Keep a copy of, yeah, I always have copies of my passport. Yeah, I have, pictures of my passport, of course. I do not speak any other languages. No, I never learned any in school. We don't really. It's embarrassing, but I do not. When you buy an internet package for one device, is it one person? My husband and I are cruising on MSE for the first time. So depends on the cruise line. Some cruise lines, if you do like Royal Caribbean, buy a one device package, you'll just be logged into it. But if someone else, for example, wanted to log into it and you logged out, that would be fine on most cruise lines, but not MSC. It does not work on MSC because I have before bought a one device package for MSC and then what I like to do is if I'm doing a live stream, of course, I want to move my internet from my phone to my laptop. Normally, I log out, log back in. Doesn't work on MSE. I had to buy another package for that last time. So yeah, depends on the cruise line. Yes. Captain Hudson is boarding Enchanted Princess tomorrow. Amazing. I hope you find some other Captain Hudsons on there because that is so cool. So cool. With prices increasing, do you still aim to spend £100 per night? Yes, I haven't had no problems finding cruise deals. I mean, my last cruise, the advertised price was £642. It was more when I added on gratuities, so it went a little bit over 700 for 7 nights. Royal Caribbean. It's not pretty good, right? The cruise I did before that, I did a 3-day Aurora cruise, paid £350, I think. So that's a little bit over 100, but that includes gratuities. That's not that bad, I don't think. Yeah, there's other cruises I've booked recently. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, the transatlantic I've booked, that's under £100 per night. I like it to include gratuities, but that's not that is not always possible like that. I use a mobility scooter. Can I do the North Star? I'm not sure because you do have to be able to zip line down if it breaks. I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure about that one. I'm sure it will say on Royal Caribbean's website, though. Do you know when you will have the Norway videos up? Excited to see the trip. So I'm hoping start of next week, I'll have the cabin video, but you can only see my virtual outside balcony inside cabin thing. You can see the view, some clips, and then I will have the full video. It'll probably take 2 or 3 weeks to edit it, so a little while, but all the content is already on my website. You know, if you do want to know something, if you want Norway tips, if you want port guides, all that stuff is on my website. Jamie says, my next Aurora cruise is around £100 per person per night for a balcony. Very nice. I had a very big inside cabin, a square one. It was kind of cool. £100 is different to $100 per night. Yes, absolutely it is. Questions are blocking Hudson. Hudson's not here anymore. He's gone. He's long gone. It's raining, so I don't know why he's gone out, but he has gone out. First ever cruise, which one would you recommend? I would recommend head to emmacruises.com, put in your email address. I have a big guide that compares all the cruise lines, how busy they are, how expensive they are, you know, all the things I can put in the table. And then I have a free email course. Every 3 days, you'll get an email and it goes through, you know, how to find cruises, when to book them, what you're paying for, what you're not paying for, what excursions are like, how you avoid getting sick. Everything I know about cruises is in that free course. So check that out because there's 17,000 possible answers to this depending on who you are, and I can't tell who you are. So yeah, please please head to my website. You weren't required to study 2 foreign languages at school. No languages at school. We sort of did a bit of French at the beginning of secondary school, but we didn't have to do any for our exams, and I had no interest in French. Like if I was going to pick up a language, you know, I've done you know, when you do a bit of Duolingo, Spanish, German, doesn't mean I can speak any of it because they just teach you to say the weirdest phrases. But yeah. What are the hexagon things on your wall behind you? They're just sound panels. They're soaking up the sound. Yeah, they're just sound panels. They're just fluffy sound panels. Yeah, raining in Dorset. It is miserable. It's supposed to be summer. It doesn't feel like summer at all. Oh yeah, I need to put my banners back. You guys didn't tell me about my banner. Oh no, it's still here. I forgot. I moved it. Amazing. So my discount, this was requested this week. I asked what discount you would like, and the cookies one was most requested. So we have the Take Me to the Cruise Ship cookies, t-shirts, vest tops, stickers, magnets, mugs, suitcases, everything. And the discount is cookies for 24 hours only. 24 hours only. Posh sound panels. We have egg box style. Yeah, they're just stick on from Amazon. They're not so expensive. I mean this banner, but it's probably over here for you. It's there for me. It's there for me. Good morning from Australia. Oh my goodness. Wow. Must be, I can't even work that out. How about Take Me to the Cunard Donuts? I'm afraid I can't use any cruise line in any of my t-shirts because I don't have their trademark and I would get in big trouble. So I can't. Oh, just bought a giant football cookie from Morrison's. Nice. That sounds amazing. Just saw your comment on Caitlin's Instagram about her cruise. Yes, she has a very interesting channel. I love it. I really love it when sort of two different things that you don't expect come together, right? She has a channel about funeral directing, which is really interesting. But she's been on a Cunard cruise, sort of checking out what it would have been like on the Titanic. That's the closest we have now. And it was really cool. Yeah, I really like it when things cross over in a way you don't expect. I find that really cool. I follow some YouTubers who I follow one called Molly. She's blind. She goes on cruises, and then I learn about that part of cruising. Or people have history channels, and then they tell me about something history, and it's just cool. I really like it. I think the thing about YouTube is you get to see someone enjoy something, and that's the thing. It doesn't even matter what it is, particularly. I don't really watch videos about things that I'm gonna do. That's why I'm watching it, and I think that's the same. Jamie says, never had a decent cookie on a cruise. Need to sail on better lines. I don't know what to say to that. I've tried cookies on every single cruise line I've ever been on, if they have cookies. I will say Royal Caribbean has the best access to cookies. I think I ate more cookies on that cruise than any other. Oh, I have something I can eat now, actually. Let me show you this. I have eaten this whole packet, but I have saved one because I wanted to show you it, right? So when I go to Bruges or Ghent, there is a sweet that I always get, right? I call them purple noses. That's not what they're called. And this is what it is. I'll show you it. And they are so good. And I didn't go to Bruges recently. A friend bought these and sent them to me. They're so nice. They're like, if you like jelly babies, that's probably the closest thing, but they're like goo, like, look at that. Gooey. Yum. Can I eat on a live stream? It's my live stream. Mm-mm. Cruise ships need shortbread. I love shortbread. Which transatlantic are you going on? I'm afraid I sort of have to keep things a bit secret now for a few reasons. So when I can tell you more, I will tell you more. But I can't come on here and say I'm taking this cruise because on I think last month 7 million people saw my face on the internet, and not all of those are nice, right? When you find 7 million people, I think if you were in my comment sections or my emails, you'd understand why I can't say where I'm going to be. And also, I don't want the cruise lines to know. If I say I'm taking this cruise, they might try and upgrade me out of my inside cabin. That happened once, and I phoned them and got them to move me back because I want that cabin, right? I want it on purpose. I normally do everything I can to not get upgraded now because if I'm booking a weird cabin, I'm booking a weird cabin on purpose. That's why I'm doing it. Just killed Patrick and ate his head. It does feel like that from SpongeBob, if anyone is wondering. Do British people actually drive mostly manual cars? Yeah, I think so. I think less so now because obviously we have more electric cars. And when you buy newer cars, they're more likely to be automatic. But the default is you drive a manual car when you learn to drive. I don't know any friends that learned to drive in automatics. I learned to drive in a manual. Yeah, that's it. I think so. When will Hudson 5 be available for purchase? I must have him. So I have had pictures of version 5 and the sample is on the way to me. When that's done, I'm going to bulk order multiple thousand of these and send them to the UK and the US for us to distribute. So the hope is that you'll be able to go onto my shop, you'll be able to buy something and it will arrive in, a few days or weeks rather than the long time it takes now. So that's my hope. Hopefully that means that we'll be able to keep selling for longer because we're not they'll sell out at some point, but it's not like such a time crunch. And also that means if you have a cruise coming up in 2 weeks, you can buy one. Whereas at the moment, it's kind of a bit of a guess how long they're going to take. So, yeah. Oh, just got back from a cruise to Alaska with Royal. It was amazing. Thank you for your advice on weather and clothing. It was so mild. Yes, I'm glad. We were very lucky with the weather on my Alaska cruise. So lucky. And I was also lucky with my Norway weather. Not quite as much. It wasn't quite as warm, but it only rained on me, I think, once. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. What is your favorite movie? The one that's right at the front of my mind is Elf. I love Elf. That's such a good one. Where can I buy the Jelly Baby triangles? You can only buy them in Bruges, as far as I know. They're called Cubidons. That's the actual name of them. If it comes up, come on, focus. No, you can't know. There we go. Cubidons. But I've only ever found them in Bruges. So a friend got these for me and sent them to me, and they're so good. They're sort of a little bit floral, like you know how a Parma violet is a little bit florally. Oh, I'm just doing a little ban in the comments. Yeah, that's it. This is the name. Does that mean autographed versions of version 5 might be available? I don't know how. Well, how would I sign Hudson? We might be able to do some autographed books. This is very much a test on how this goes, right? So please don't stop ordering them because I'm going to have bought them. Please don't decide this is it. I mean, we've sold 2,000 of the last one. There's 8,000 of them in the world. But please, for this next one, keep buying them. And we'll see. Yeah, Dan says, whose autograph? Yeah. Is it going to be Hudson's? Like, I'm not sure. Have you ever subjected yourself to an art auction? Subject. I have been to art auctions briefly, not really on purpose. The only reason I would sort of end up in an art auction is if I'm sat in a lounge and then all of a sudden they start carrying in artwork, and then I'm like, well, I'll see what happens. It's interesting. Sometimes they hand out free drinks there sometimes, but I have no interest in buying the art personally. Yeah, if I go to Bruges, I'd rather have chocolate. That is common, but I would rather have these, honestly. I do like chocolate. I eat a lot of chocolate. You can't really beat just dairy milk, though. So it's kind of, yeah. Oh, I'm glad other people know what these sweets are, because when I said it, I sent them to my friend, and I was like, find the purple noses and get the sweets. Gone to the art auctions for the champagne. Yeah. Dan says he can autograph them for $10. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. Dan is my US travel agent, heads up the team that we have there. And he's also taking care of the Hudsons. He sent 175, was it, Captain Hudson's to Mercy ships, which is much appreciated because that is a lot. Hudson can do a paw print. Yeah. I could get a paw print from Hudson, probably. But it would have to be on his terms. There's got to be something in it for him, or he's not going to do it. He's a cat. Sean says Lou loves art auctions. Yeah, plenty of people love art. I just can't appreciate. I just don't get it. But that's the same thing for many things. Yeah, we'll have to think about what version 6 will be. So version 5 is proper Captain Hudson wearing his actual captain's uniform. I don't think let me see if I can upload a picture because I have one. I don't want to upload the wrong picture. Oh, okay. Right, let's see if this works. I'm doing this live, so I'm not sure. Right. I think it's going to come up in the middle. I'm going to lean over. Give it some time. There he is. You see? So he's got his proper uniform on with his actual captain's stripes because we've never seen him do any work yet, and he's supposed to be a captain. But I think that's very cute. You think that's cute? If you're listening to this and you're a Patreon, you can see all the pictures. I've uploaded them all earlier today. Do you get recognized in the street or shops by strangers looking at you strangely? Not really outside of cruise ships or cruise ports, and I don't really want to because I'm not really, if I'm on a cruise, I'm very happy to talk to anyone. I try and be nice, but if I'm just wandering around by myself, I'm not paying attention. I'm just looking at the floor. So it probably, yeah, don't know. What is the largest group you've cruised with? Number of family and friends you've gone with on a cruise at one time? My first cruise was probably the biggest cruise I've ever been on in terms of group. I don't remember how many of us there were. I was 11. This is why I'm struggling. There's like 12 of us, maybe. There's quite a lot. Maybe more than that. My mum and dad are in the chat. They'll let me know. But that's the biggest one. Surprised Hudson hasn't made Admiral yet. No. He's always Hudson. Imagine hearing Immo's voice at your local Tesco. Very specific from Jonathan there, given that Jonathan's from the States and they don't have Tesco. Yeah, my dad says 12. Yeah. 11, so 10 years ago. Not quite. Yeah, plenty of people buy from art auctions. It's not about the art auction. I just don't understand art. Completely. I just like things that, this is art, but this shows my cruise. So I think that's cool. Or this is, oh, I just found a dreamy. Hudson left one. Gross. But yeah. If you do have a question, please put question at the beginning. As much as I could just sit here and read questions all day, I don't want to stop and sort of read. So please use your capitals if you have them. Please use capitals. I sent a weekly newsletter. I'm getting much better at sending these weekly, and I included a bit about my recent Morella cruise, the 4-day party all-inclusive thing, which was cool. Is Captain a plush or pillow like a bear? These ones you see here, these are the original Captain Hudsons. We make these and sell them and give all the profits to Mercy ships. That's what these are. These ones are only available for a time so far. They've only been available for like 3 weeks at a time, and they're different versions. So people take them on cruises and collect different ones, and it's pretty cool. And then beyond that, we have t-shirts with Hudson on them. This one's a pillow. I've made pillows. I'm sitting on a Captain Hudson blanket. If you see this, and these are all mine. So yes. When is the skydiving stream? I have no plans to go real skydiving. I have done skydiving in the simulator on Anthem of the Seas, which was cool. I did all right. Where's your banner gone? Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. I just can't. It just goes away. That's my main complaint about StreamYard. Put my banner back. Put the banner back. Are you going to do another bike and barge cruise? Says Mark. I don't have any plans to. I would love to. It was so fun. But looking at, my schedule, I have a certain amount of cruises I can do per year. And to take the exact same cruise for a third time is just business-wise not a good use of my time. But I absolutely loved it. And if I wasn't, doing this as a business, then I would do it again. Absolutely. I'm sure I will sometime. But there's just so many things to do. And, so many people want me to do Icon of the Seas or Sky Princess or Sun Princess or whatever people want. I can't do everything at the same time. And my parents are doing it though. My mum's going on it with my dad. I went with my dad last time. So yeah, mum's the newbie this year. It's exciting. Is the casino closed for most of an Alaskan cruise since the ship is near land most of the time? I don't remember, to be honest. If anyone does know, please comment. I don't remember looking at it and thinking, oh, that's closed a lot. Or I don't remember looking at it and thinking, oh, that's not closed. Don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Shouldn't say out far enough. If you're doing like a Glacier Bay day sailing, then it was closed as far as I remember. But apart from that, does the bike and barge cruise only go through Germany, or are there other itineraries with other ships? There's only one ship, so it is a couple who I know who run this ship. It's a family-run business, them and their dog. There's only one ship, but they don't just do Germany. They sail around. I've just done Germany twice. Germany's great for cycling. Like the cycle paths are brilliant, and it's really interesting. Have you bumped into Jane McDonald? No, I've never bumped into Jane McDonald. I don't know that I'd even notice, to be honest. Did you ever go on Virgin Voyages? I did, but it was only once, and it was a bit pandemic-y still. We've had some restrictions in that you don't have anymore. Thank you to my mum for sharing one of my links. Don't know what the question is, but the answer is how to communicate with friends and family on a cruise. 3 options. Yes. Royal Caribbean was fantastic for this because we had the app, and you could use the app to message other people without paying for the Wi-Fi. It was brilliant. I think more cruise lines are going that way. It used to be that, there was an app, you could unlock it for $9.99 or whatever it was, but it was completely free, and it was so good because the tricky thing about having a big group on a sea day is you don't know when everyone's going to get up, right? You don't know if everyone's going to want to go to breakfast. I don't really like breakfast that much. Some people might like it, but then where do you meet afterwards? It's quite tricky to organize. Oh, this paper cut on my finger is just terrible. Have you ever accidentally cruised into that like button? Please do if you're watching this. It just gives YouTube kind of a nice sign that my videos will follow you around the internet. That's how YouTube works. I quite often get comments and they say, oh, you haven't posted in months. I have. It just hasn't shown you it, right? So really, the only way to see if a channel has new videos is to go to that channel page, or if you check out my email, I send emails every week, then I will say in there when I have new videos out, which is cool. I am debating, I don't normally send videos that say, this is my new video, here's a bit about it, watch it. But I'm wondering if I should be doing that because I get that from some other people and it's really helpful. So let me know if you would like to get an email that basically says, oh, I've just got back from Alaska, here's a video that I made, that kind of thing. Let me know. Any tips for proposing on a cruise? Should I do it on board or pre-cruise in Rome? Afraid there won't be much intimacy on board Oasis of the Seas. I saw a proposal recently on a cruise and it was quite organized. It was at this time, this proposal is happening. The captain was there. Depends if you want to go down sort of that route or if you want to just be a bit more spontaneous. Obviously, I don't know you. I don't know who you're proposing to. Some people like public proposals. I think that would be terrible, but you know who you're proposing to, right? So, yes. Todd says, please email about new videos. Okie dokie. Because at the moment I send once a week sort of a summary of new content on my website or what time the live stream is, that kind of stuff, like just like a roundup kind of thing. But my fear is that I'll annoy people by emailing them too much, but I don't put out new videos, it's once every week or 2 weeks. So hopefully not annoying. Yeah, exactly. You disappeared from my notifications this week. Had to search for this. Yes. Will Captain Hudson books be available on other than your website? They're going to be on Amazon. That's where they're going to be. So Amazon is the one printing them. Amazon is the one sending them, which is good because we can rely on Amazon, right? We know how easy it is to order from Amazon. So yeah, they're Amazon. On my store, it will just say, here's the book. Get this on Amazon. Would you rather go on a cruise without going to any specialty restaurants or without ever going to the buffet? Oh my goodness, without specialty restaurants every single time. You're describing loads of my cruises there. Like, it's quite rare I go to a specialty restaurant. And I don't miss it. So, yeah, I didn't do any on my last cruise. That was fine. I did do them in Alaska because, I was working for Norwegian to make videos for them. So obviously they let me eat anywhere. So I did, of course. Actually, I had the free at sea technically, so I had 2 meals, and then I have my loyalty, so I get 2 more. But that's not like I've paid for it, right? So it was free, so that's cool. But yeah, normally I don't do any specialty restaurants, but I go in the buffet every single day. Every single day. When we cruised on my last cruise, because we had kids with us, the buffet was just a better choice than ever because everyone can have something totally different and you don't have to agree on anything, which, if you're trying to agree with a 6-year-old and then everyone's different, it's kind of hard. Local Amazon or UK Amazon. So it'll be on all the Amazons, wherever you can order a book. And we should be able to trust Amazon with books, right? Like, isn't that their thing? So every Amazon, be on Canada Amazon, Australian Amazon. Yeah, and then they'll be printed where you are. So that will be good. That will be nice. I'm hoping that by us getting and holding these Hudsons, it won't be so expensive to send them to Australia, for example. I know that was very expensive. And the way that the company that we used last time for these worked was if you ordered 5, you would pay 5 times postage, and it didn't cost that. So I'm hoping it'll be cheaper for you, and it should be faster for you. And also we can check them for any defects because I'll actually be able to see them. So I think it should be better. If it works out, it'll be great. If not, we'll go back to the old way and it'll be fine. It'll be fun. Oh my goodness. Eddie's Big Adventure says, Emma, your content always seems so seamless. Can you give an example of bloopers, or will you ever make a blooper reel? I have had quite a few blooper reels inside my Patreon. I prefer to keep those in there. But most of them are just me getting frustrated with myself because, I sit down and I record the scripts, and that's normally 12, 15 pages of writing that I've written. And sometimes you just can't. When you're writing it, it sounds good, but then when you try and say it, it's such a tongue twister. So normally it's just me like, ugh, over and over again. But because I film things, if I film something on a ship, all the clips I film are only 3, 4, 5 seconds long. So if something was goes wrong, I'll just delete it straight away, and then I'll record it again. So it's only really me. Like I'm the problem, but also I have to be the solution. I'm old enough to remember when books were an Amazon's only thing. Well, they should be good at it then, right? I think so. Is the real Hudson narrating the audiobook? Perhaps. 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 Jamie says, never been to a specialty restaurant. Why pay twice when you've already paid for inclusive food? Yeah, that's sort of what I feel like. Obviously, if you're taking a cruise like with Norwegian and they're included, they have a thing called free at sea, and it's very cheap, and you get specialty meals, you get drinks. Absolutely. In that case, fantastic. I'll have them, but I don't normally pay full price for them. I don't think most cruise lines most people pay full price for cruise line specialty restaurants. Normally it's some sort of package or something like that. Did you ever post a picture of all the Hudsons going to Mercy ships, says Todd? Yeah, I think in our Facebook group. Just search Emma Cruises, Captain Hudson in Facebook, and it should come up in there. Sam says, what do you think of 3-night weekend cruises? So if you asked me maybe 6 months ago, I would have said they're always party cruises, great fun, but not really a representation of a longer cruise, right? Because you get a lot of birthday parties, hen do's, stag do's, which are bachelor parties in the US. And it just, everything is just more chaotic because everyone is out the whole time. You're not going to spend any time really in your cabin. You want to make the most out of everything. You want to do everything on the ship. So it tends to normally be busier. And just a bit, just fun, but like a bit more crazy. But I did recently take a very short cruise on P&O's Aurora, and it was not like that at all. It was very much just a chilled out cruise. We did see some birthdays and stuff, but it was not really what I'm used to. I'm used to kind of crazy 3-day cruises. Like I took a 3-night weekend cruise over a bank holiday, so a public holiday, on Celebrity Silhouette a long time ago. And people had blow up dolls in the library, like blow up dolls. People had all kinds of like things you would find at hen do's and stag do's. You couldn't really get to a bar because everyone was out drinking the whole time, and it was great, but it was not a reflection of celebrity cruises, and it was not a normal cruise at all. I went back and I did a week-long cruise on that ship, same ship, totally different, so different. So I think they're fun. But I think if you went on one and you didn't like it, probably the things you wouldn't like about it would not be the same things on a longer cruise. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Are you planning a longer cruise on Aurora now you have found her charm? Ken goes cruising. I would love to, yes. I think I would want it to be a really nice destination, one that smaller ships go to rather than the really big mega ships. But I really like that ship. I was really surprised by it, pleasantly surprised. It was kind of the closest you can get to Cunard within another cruise line, I think, but without the formality of Cunard. Like very traditional. They have nice fireplaces, bookcases. The books aren't real, by the way. They're just the pretend ones on the front. But it was really nice. It was very pleasantly surprised. Lots of outside space. I do find that on the older ships, you normally get more outside space per person. They're not, they're not filling it with laser tag and go-karts and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to sit in the sun and just chill out, they're really good for that. Yeah. Jamie, I'm gonna need more than in what way, because I've said lots of words. I don't know which ones. Were there fights recently on cruise ships? Oh, thoughts on fights recently on cruise ships? Too much drinking. I see this occasionally, and I see, be on TikTok or something, and someone will come up with, oh, can you believe it? People are fighting in the club on a Carnival cruise. This was taken at 3:30 in the morning. If you go to any club at 3:30 in the morning, people are going to be fighting in there, right? Partying. I never even see it because I'm just not there. I've never seen a fight on a cruise. I've never really seen anyone, apart from perhaps the 90s theme cruise I took. There was a lot of drinking on there. People would be asleep. Apart from that, but you would expect that on a 3-day 90s theme cruise, right? Apart from that, I've never really seen anyone be drunk in a problematic way at all. People always say, oh, Carnival has so many more fights. It's just because there's people are up. That's the difference, right? If you go to a club on Cunard at 3 in the morning, no one is there, so there's no fights. It's okay. Oh, Aurora is doing nice 14-day Norway cruise trips next year. That sounds amazing. Sounds lovely. Looking forward to NCL Aqua. What changes would you like to see? I'm not sure what changes, but I would. Are they going to have Indulge Food Hall on there? Because that, for me, that was the key thing. It has the nice promenade, as far as I know. Yeah, I just don't take Indulge Food Hall away, and then I'm okay. Make it bigger, double it, and then I'm good. I'm not sure how many countries I've been to. No, I haven't kept count. Haven't kept count. I don't think I've been to as many as you think I've been to, though, because I go to the same ones over and over again. I think. For me at the moment, maximum length of cruise, I probably would do a 2-week cruise, but for me, normally I can get everything I need to do on a cruise done in maybe 5 or 7 days is about perfect. Beyond that, I would be chilling out, like taking like a holiday cruise, which is great, but also I don't know. There's too many things I want to do. I can't spend too much time on one thing. Ooh, yeah, Aurora's great for Northern Lights trips. I can imagine, especially with that aft. It's one of those really old-fashioned afts where it's tiered, and the seats all the way down and a pool at the bottom. It did remind me of my Fred Olsen cruise that I took, the Northern Lights cruise with Fred Olsen. It was awesome. It was awesome. Can you recommend a hotel in Southampton? I'm normally in the Ibis or the Holiday Inn or the Travel Lodge. So I'm normally on the lower end. I think the Leonardo is one I've stayed in before that was quite nice. But yeah, I'm not very I don't know. I know what the word is. I don't really care that much about things being I don't know. As long as somewhere is clean and it's close to where I want to go, then I'm pretty happy. Do you know about dance hosts and have you ever met one and danced with one? Says Jack. I know on some cruise lines they have what are called dance hosts, who are normally gentlemen who are there to dance with the ladies. On a Cunard cruise, very nice. I don't dance, so I've never danced with one, and I don't think I've ever met one in real life. But I don't know that I would know. Don't know. You need one of those scratcher type maps. Yeah, but the thing is technically I've been to places like Russia on a cruise. Do I then scratch the whole of Russia? I don't know the rules on those things. Put pins in your world map. In this one has some pins in it. Has the holes in it anyway. Oh, long time watcher, first time to the actual live. Yes. What percentage of your time is spent cruising compared to being home on land? I think people think, because obviously I don't share when I'm at home, so I give the impression that I'm away a lot more than I am. I was away for 1 week last month, 2 weeks the month before, and then the one before that, like 3 days, and then nothing. So I think I average between 1.5, 2 weeks. I know that sounds a lot, but sometimes I'm not away at all. Sometimes, and yeah, there's sort of for work. I try and do one non-working sort of cruise a year, but I don't do that because I'm so excited. The thing is I started this because I want to share everything, right? The idea of being on a cruise and just chilling and not talk, don't know. I always try. I thought to myself when I went on P&O Aurora, I'm going to take this cruise. It's only 3 days. All my friends are on. I'm not going to film it. I'm just going to you bet I filmed it. I filmed 2 videos. They're not coming out yet, but they will. Yeah, just read in your newsletter you've booked your transatlantic. Heads up, depending on direction of travel, you'll lose or gain an hour every 2 days. That is pretty cool though, isn't it? Because jet lag is horrible. And if we can sort of get rid of some of that sounds fantastic. Thank you for the discount for my cruise map. You are very welcome. We've had a lot of orders of these. So this company who make them, they're called the Cruise Maps. And they gave me a discount that I can give you, Emma Cruises. Of course it is. And also we have some lanyards to give away. I think we have a few left with the prints, but not many. So if you want one, get one. All the information's on my website. So Just search Emma Cruises cruise map and you'll find it. Have cruise lines ever approached you to organize a special event community group cruise? And would that be something you would consider? They have never done that. And I don't think that that is something that I would enjoy. I think I would be very stressed out. I take on everyone else's problems. I'd be so worried about everyone else. There's no way I could give everyone an equal amount of time. And I would be so stressed. I would be so stressed. Thanks. I could just sit here and just read the comments. Thank you to the moderators, by the way. There's some interesting things in here. Oh my gosh. Only ever cruise with Disney, but we're considering Alaska on the NCL Bliss. Do you have any tips? I think the great thing about Norwegian is you don't really have to be prepared for anything. You don't have to bring extra clothes. They have no thermal ice. You don't have to really book anything. You just go to the entertainment. You don't really have to pre-plan anything. If you do have free at sea, definitely do the specialty restaurants. There's some really nice ones on there. But yeah, I don't think I really have any tips because you can just go with the flow, which is good. You're obviously not going to have the things that you have on Disney, like when you're at dinner and they're singing and dancing and all that stuff. Dinner is more grown up. But that suits me fine. Liam says, how loud is Virgin Voyages just in the hallways and stuff? On the autism spectrum and don't handle loud noises well. So I've only cruised with Virgin once and I don't remember it being loud at all. I don't think there's any music in the corridors. I think it was pretty quiet. Where your cabin is will have an impact though, because if you have a cabin that is right by the stairs and the elevators and people are coming in and they're saying, oh, good night, like when they go the other way, then that's what you might hear. But if you have one like my last cruise, I had an inside cabin that was kind of down a secret corridor a little bit. No one would go down there unless their cabin was maybe the 6th after mine. So no one ever went down that corridor. I never heard a thing. So yeah, I would try not to worry about that. I know it's easy to say, but I don't have any memories of it being loud at all. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can always wear headphones, earphones, ear protectors, whatever you want to wear. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Todd says, I will tell you all the group cruises I've done with cruise creators. They are exhausted and stressed out by the end of the cruise. People get mad because you can't spend one-on-one time, but time is limited. Yeah, I would feel so guilty, so bad. I am not that sociable. Sometimes in my videos, interestingly, no one ever questions why my videos are about 3 days long out of 7 days because I'm working the rest of it. And also I'm not out late and I'm not up early. I am in my cabin doing work. So, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do any of that. I'm not that sociable. If I could delete my face, this face, from my channel and from everything for the last few years of the internet and replace it with something else, probably would. Because there's some real downsides having your face on the internet. But yes, yeah. Scott says, how often do people recognize you on cruises? On my last cruise, we averaged about 10 times a day. Yeah. So depends on the cruise, of course, who's on the cruise, where we're going. But yeah, I would just, a group cruise would be very stressful and it's just not me. And I know me, right? I know what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. And yeah, the idea of public speaking, I've seen the other people go on the stage, like, no way. That's not for me. Not for me at all. But then also, I like to think my videos, I create them for people not just going on cruises, right? The majority of people who watch my videos haven't been on a cruise and aren't actually going to go on one. They're just curious about it. So I tend to think when I make a video, every time I meet someone, that's who goes into my audience in my brain, right? And I can think, oh yeah, that's for Stacy, who I met on Carnival's buffet, or Joanne told me this, and I can picture everyone like that. But then I also have to remember that that's not the majority of my audience. The majority are just like, what is a cruise? And then they're just looking at it, which is kind of cool. Do you generally cruise with anyone? I always cruise with someone. Yes, I don't cruise by myself anymore, just because of my channel. But apart from that, I think solo cruising is fantastic. For everyone else, brilliant. The best way to travel, absolutely. I have been to Hawaii, yeah, but I was a child and I didn't appreciate it enough. Didn't appreciate it. Know about the upside down pineapples? Yeah, if you're wondering what that is, just Google Emma Cruise's pineapple, and that will come up. I did an interview with someone who is part of that lifestyle. Part of that lifestyle. Oh, does that mean you prefer not doing selfies with people that recognize you? I always do selfies. I'm always happy to take a picture. I'm always sort of when I'm on a cruise, I try and if someone looks at me, I'll try and smile at them, try and look friendly, and I take pictures all the time. And I always offer, if I'm with my mum or with Jono or someone, I'm like, Jono, will take a picture because he's behind the scenes. Yeah, always happy to do that. I don't like it when people take pictures of me without me knowing, especially if I'm, with my nieces. I'm on purpose keeping them off of the internet. Don't take a picture of them. That's weird. And I will always say yes. So please just ask me. Please just ask me. Even if it's, even if it's 11 p.m. and I'm in my pajamas or something, then I would say yes. Not that I go out in my pajamas, but you get the idea. I've never said no. I've never said no. Yes. What if we want a picture with your mum or Jono? Dan, you could have that any day. You could sign it and do whatever you like. Do you prefer ocean cruising or river cruising? Will you be doing any river cruise videos? Yes, so I have taken a few river cruises. My most recent was a Christmas markets river cruise that I did. I am taking a luxurious river cruise, and this one's not a press trip. This is probably the most expensive cruise that I've ever paid for. But it was half price of what it normally is, which is double what I would normally pay. And I was curious, so I have booked it. So that will be very, very interesting. I'm doing that soon. But it's really interesting because I kind of thought when I took my first river cruise, I'd done loads of ocean cruises, and I thought that the people on the river cruise may have done ocean cruising, right? I thought there would be a crossover. There really wasn't. It's really different. It's not the same. Apart from the fact that water is underneath a ship. That's the only thing that's the same about it, really. River cruising, I mean, I love docking in the middle of a place. There's no security. Just wander off. Go to Lidl if you want. Wander back on with your snacks. Totally fine. I really like that. I really like being in the middle of a place. But of course, you're not going to get the things that ocean cruises have. You're not going to find a big theater. You're not going to find swimming pool. You can have little swimming pools on river cruises, but you're never going to find slides and stuff like that. Like, it's just really different. Totally different. Oh, gonna do the bike cruise someday because of that video. You should do it. It's brilliant. Bike and barge video was fantastic. It's interesting because that one comes up in conversation quite a lot, and that's something that's really sort of niche. And yeah, I wouldn't expect that to be the thing that people remember, but people remember it, which is cool. Taking a pic without permission. Yeah, people have like taken pictures of me, and like sometimes they send them to me afterwards, or they put them in our Facebook group, which is really really weird. I'm eating my dinner, right? Yeah, really strange. But it's absolutely worth it. I meet so many interesting people on every cruise that I take, and every video I make is not just my cruise, it's the combination of everyone who I meet, right? If I meet, say I had great service on a cruise and I met other people and they said their dinner was really slow, then I'll put that in the video. If it's, I've had something that was terrible, but then I meet everyone and no one else had that problem, then that goes in the video, right? So it's not just, it's Emma Cruises, but really it's not. Emma Cruises with the 100 people she meets on every single cruise. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we're nearly at the end of this live stream. This hour goes so fast. And I'm so happy because I have had the same pizza for dinner after live streams for about 3 years. It's my favorite food in the world. And when your favorite food gets changed or discontinued, I thought that happened because it disappeared for about 3 months, but it came back yesterday. I got it. I'm so happy. If you're wondering, it is a stone-baked vegetable pizza from Iceland. It's £2.50 and it's my favorite food. I love it. Not sure if I'd recognize you without an Emma Cruises t-shirt on. Yeah, I don't normally have Emma Cruises t-shirts on. That feels weird. That feels strange. I normally have my Embarkation Day t-shirt on Embarkation Day. I'll wear ones like this. I really like the cruise ship cookie one. This is one of the most popular ones we have. But what's cool is that sometimes I see people who are wearing a Captain Hudson t-shirt or something like that. And it's like, if you don't know who that is, it doesn't mean anything really. But when you do see one, like sometimes I see a magnet that says I'm with Hudson, and it's like we have a thing in common. You know, it's so cool. And people meet other people because they see and they recognize and they're like, that's Hudson, right? Which is so funny. That was not the plan, not the plan at all. Oh, I like this. May all your pizzas come with a cookie. Yeah, I don't have any cookie. I'm going to finish eating this sweet. I only ate half of it because I was too self-conscious to eat on the live stream. So I'm going to eat this in a minute. But yes, thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the live stream. This time has been flying. I get this comment all the time. Follow Dr. Becky. They're the same person. I'm not Dr. Becky, and she's not me. But we both get these comments. That's totally okay. You're a stage mom for Hudson. I will take that. Absolutely. Brilliant. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to the live stream. I'll be here next week at the normal time, so I will see you then. And I'm going to eat this. Look how gooey this is. Looks like a crystal or something. All right. Bye, guys.